core, and today I'm going to show you how to design hospital management system in ASP.NET core. And you can say that like medical services I want to design in the ASP.NET core. This is the simple steps by using the simple steps. So here we have, you can say that is a demonstration, and after this demonstration I will create the project of the hospital management system. So this is the left panel. You can see that the navigation part where home, search, service, registration, login, feedback form. So in the search section you got select disease type and get the doctor details. So represent like the disease is related to the physician, so just get the doctor details. Okay, so here we have the home page, and that is the service part of the tab section where 24/7 facilities of doctor, dedicated tower, patients, health, like that. In the hospital management system, you can just as a patient you have to sign in or register into the form where your text boxes and the radio buttons are there. After there, this is the admin part for the login form, and here we have a user type, that is admin, and if it is your doctor then that is the same login form, as well as if you have a patient then this is the simple login form also there. So this is the feedback form for the patients. Post your comment here, user ID, email ID, and the feedback. And if there is the medical history points where if you have personal medical history, personal check, any that apply, asthma, lung, that is blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, frequently occurring disease, and allergies, please list any. Family history like alcoholism and asthma, blood pressure, cancer, cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease. These are the actually this is the medical history form were filled by the patients. Hospital management to log in their ID like that. This is the successful ID 1233. Your login and access the services. And this is the admin part where here we have a admin section. In the hospital detail, that is the hospital name, address, and the city. Okay, now that next to the please enter the following details for the hospital name, doctor name, user ID, password, like the doctor sign up, and specialization in, and this is the form for the doctor information inserted successfully. So here we have to see the doctor details, and also we have to see the patient detail also by the admin. And here we have a admin inbox by asking some questions by the patients, and select user type to whom you want to send, like doctor, just I want to send the mail, like that. The mail facility is also available in ASP.NET core facility. And update your user profile also by using their username and the qualification, experience, specializations, email, phone number updates by the doctor. And select patient ID to view profile. If you want to get any patient profile by the doctor, just by using their patient ID you just get it. So here we have a patient profile. This is the patient profile, and the medical history is also there. Enter your schedule if you want to enter into the schedule online. So appointment for patients from time to time and on date. Schedule is fixed. Schedule details is also there in the format of the table, and lab reports are also there. Patient ID, tested by, test perform, pH level, cholesterol level, Cu cross level, white blood cells, etc. So patient name is, if you want to get lab reports, just enter the patient details, and lab reports are also there with the patient name, tested by, test, pH level, cholesterols, etc. So here we have the list of this, and select user type to whom you want to send, admin and compose mail. And schedule details also there for the doctors. Okay, so these lab reports also there. Hospital details is also there in the format of the table, like hospital name, address, and city. Number of people suffering from this disease, like this. Admin, select message. Okay, so feedback form is there. So just I want to create this hospital management system in ASP.NET Core. So the first part is to create a new project in ASP.NET Core, and actually the project is divided into the entire architecture. So here we have just to create a new web project that is the based on the web. So here we have some templates related to the categories. So select Windows, web, and all languages. Instead of this all languages, select C#. And in this templates you have to select ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller. In the given text boxes you have to select project name, that is the hospital.web, and the solution name you can choose hospital only instead of hospital.web, and must to use camel notations to fulfill the criteria of any programming languages to assign the name. So now just click to create button. That is the framework is .NET 6.0 long-term support, and authentication type is write time, that is none, and configure for HTTPS also checkbox is checked, enable Docker is unchecked. So your template is ready for creating any projects. That is the online online hospital management system. So here we have to create another project's name, that is the models, that is the repositories, that is the services, that is view models, utilities. So lots of projects in the entire architecture. So one by one you have to create all these projects. So select the class library first of all, and the name of the class library is to first to create models. So hospital.models, that is the project name. Okay, now another add some other projects like repositories, services, utilities, web view models, etc. So just create quickly as soon as possible. Now your all projects are created successfully. Now after that just add a application DB context file in the repositories folder, repositories projects. So here we have some repositories like application DB context, and that class is actually inherited with the identity DB context, because in the later video, in this video tutorial I'm going for add identity in the project. So add identity DB context, and actually that class is must inherit that class is actually used Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core package. So just installed by using the NuGet package manager. So here we have So just type in the text box, in the search text box, that is identity, and select a given NuGet packages. Select Microsoft.ASP.NET Core .identity.entity framework core, where your Microsoft 92.9 million downloads. So also select the latest version, that is stable. Latest stable is 6.0.8. so just click on the install button to install this package. Now the next package you have to install, that is tools, and the next one is the SQL Server. So install first of all. So identity DB context is resolved by using their Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.identity.entity framework core, and create a constructor in the application DB context file, that is DB context options, and in which the you know that DB context options have the single parameter, that is application DB context, because DB context option is the template type class, and in which you can add that template that is the same name of the class of the application DB, that is application DB context, and the same these things you can pass in the base class, that is base and the options. Okay, so everything is fine. Now the next the topic is app settings.json file. Now in this file you have to create connection strings. In the connection strings you have some parameters like the server, database, trusted connection, and multiple active result sets. So you have to create first of all, and after that connection string must to register in your program.cs file of your project in the web. Okay, Now your connection string is registered in program.cs file. So after that you have to use the next thing to add in your project file, that is and what you have to the next step, that is identity. So just you have to add identity into the web project, and just select in the left panel, that is identity, but must to use as a reference, because your application DB context is there actually add as a project reference in the web project, because your application DB context is actually existing in repositories project. So must to add this application DB context in the web project. So just right click on the project name and just add a new scaffold items and select the identity. And after that you have to add identity into the project and select the application DB context from the drop down menu in the scaffolding items. Okay, so select it. Now after added successfully identity your class, you have to see in your data folder actually exists in the identities folder. So just remove first of all, because your data section is actually hold application DB context file inside your area. And just if you want to remove that section application DB context, so just builder.service.add DB context and application DB context. So here we have just remove this. Okay, now the next section is to remove require confirmation account, okay, in the add default identity. Okay, so the next there is the options actually required confirmation account for the email confirmations. So just after that you have to remove the sections from the add default identity sections. Okay, so the next step is to create roles for the website. So add a new item, that is the class in the utilities project, that is the website roles. And here we have 3 roles, that is the admin, doctor and the patient. So create a static class and add these 3 roles as a constant. Okay. So just right click on the add a new item in the utilities folder and add an interface for this, that is IDB initializer, to create a default user, that is default admin, and default roles for the websites. So just add a new IDB initializer, that is public interface IDB initializer, and in this IDB initializer you have to add the one method, that is initialize. And initialize method is actually hold a number of roles for the websites and a single admin user. Okay, so now after that, first of all, remove the public section from the initialize method, because in the constructor, in the interface, there is no need. Only the signature is return type and the method name. And just after that, you have to create a repository for IDB initializer, that is DB initializer. So just create a new class and actually inherited with the IDB initializer class. So make it public first of all and implement with the IDB initializer. And implement this with the method, that is initialize, throw new not implemented exceptions, and create a new variable, that is private user manager. And actually user manager is used, that is identity user, and the role manager is all actually use identity role for these websites. And now the next one is the application DB context. Okay, so you have to create first. Now in the initialize method, you have to create roles if it is not exist in the database, and also check if you have a migration, then migrate your database. If it is pending migration is there, then that means of you have to create a database. You can say that context or database dot migrate functions, and after that you have to create roles for the website, and as well as a default admin. Create a default user like that admin, and assign that user in the role admin. So this is the steps you have to taken. Okay, create application user class that is inherited with the identity user, and application user is actually existing in the model section, and also add in the context class as application user. After creating the roles by using role manager dot role exist dot exist async, if it is not exist, then create first of all for the website that is there is 3 roles, that is admin, patient and doctor. After creating the roles, you have to create a user manager dot create user, and user means admin, and in the user manager you have to pass 2 things, that is a user as well as the passwords. So here we have her case and her case address of xyz.com, and there is the passwords like @123, this is the password. And after creating the user, you have to check and get the user from the database table on the app user variable. If it is app user is not null, then that means you have to assign that user in the role admin. So thank you guys for watching this video, and keep watching all other videos which is related to hospital management system. Actually that is the ERP system for entire hospitals. So please be patient, and don't forget, please subscribe my channel if you like this video, and don't forget, please subscribe as well as press the bell icons. Thank you very much for watching.